So why don't you use the regular army? What do you need us for?
'Cause some damn fool accused you of being the best. Dylan! You son of a...
Friends, how many of us have them? Friends, ones we can depend on. Friends.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Ivan, tell you, he keeps coming up with the baddest shit, dude. That's good stuff, bro. That is good stuff. Well, my next guest, he is a good friend of the program, man. He is a founder of the Tape Never Lies Network, and if you're a Bears fan, you better follow him and all the stuff that he does, because he breaks it down like nobody else. You can find him on Twitter at FulfillO, but you can find him more on Instagram. He's an IG guy, so you got to look him on IG at Phil_Atoshin. Man, let's bring him out. The draft doctor himself, Phil Atoshin. Phil, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Houdini, bro. Oh, Houdini.
That was one of the first cassettes that I bought. Remember, you had to pay
that penny? red cassette. That red cassette.
You had to pay the penny, and you got like 10 cassettes.
Oh, you got. What was that?
It was like
that mail-in RCA.
Yeah, RCA.
MGM. Picking out all the rap ones.
I was like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, I was in high school, dude. You get the box, you're like, oh, it was like you opened it up and had the
yeah. You had to take it was like unwrapping those packs of gum. You had to find that spot to pull the plastic off.
Yeah.
Open up the cassette.
And man, you just want to smell it, like, oh, and then you get to read all the songs that are on there.
Yeah, to read.
And you looked on the B side.
Oh my God. I had that. That was one of my first cassette I remember buying was the Fat Boys. That was what was it? In jail without no bail. We're in jail. And then I just was hooked on buying cassettes. I would just buy whatever was out and just test it out on a purchase. And my mom's like, you keep just buying. You don't even know. I was like, I just want to listen. That's how I found the Ghetto Boys.
No way.
Texas. Yeah, I was like, I just bought their album. I had no idea who the hell they were. I just let me buy it. And then I heard, what was it? At night I can't sleep. I tossed and turned. Yeah. I was like, oh my. And sure enough, like a month later, that was on Yo MTV Rap. And it was everywhere with that beat, Scarface, and oh my God.
I love her, Dr. Dre.
Yep. Yo, so MTV Raps.
Yep. So you know what? Ed Lover is a DJ here in Chicago now.
Is he?
Yeah, he's living in Chicago. He's
I didn't know that.
That 104.3 Jams. Actually, he doesn't have to live here. I don't know. Let me take but I think he is, because he's been around a lot. And he does the morning drive here in Chicago. So yeah.
I see the comment. We're gonna make a Leno track. I parodied a Leno track, but me and Cool Kennedy are in the works. We're doing a song now about the Blog Boys and the Trolls.
Oh no,
it's gonna be great. Shawn.
Oh no, I know it is. Because you go at him like Eminem goes at people, dude. That's why I'm just.
Yeah, I can't. I don't have any tolerating. Especially with the Bears, you get enough bullshit from the
organization.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need it. Don't do it to the fans twice. Like, fool me once. Let's all stand together. But then you got these dudes want to be sources. They want to be, me and you were talking off the air the other day. It's like, you don't got shit first. No, Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport. And then it trickles down from there. Maybe somebody connected.
Frank Schwab.
Yeah, maybe Brad Biggs is getting a handout here and there to break it. But the reality is all of these guys know nothing. They know nothing except what you teased at the top. Vegas always knows what's up. They always knows. That's why they have gold ceilings up there, because they don't lose money. They're not in it to lose money.
That's for damn sure. That's for.
I'm waiting for Dr. Phil's wife to call. I mean, she usually does. I gave her the text today. I go, Steph, I'm going on with Shawn now.
And it might happen like, oh, I forgot. I'm sorry. You know how that works.
She has done that, but that's my best friend, my wife. She's a hip hop head too.
Is she?
So, yes, she's better than me with all of the, the 2000 and 90s R&B. Like she could do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like one beat, okay, that's Aaliyah, and that's Total.
Dude, we'll definitely have. When I come visit you,
yeah,
I'm telling you, because that's me. I'm like, oh, is that such and such? Yeah, it is.
She knows that. Yeah, I'm a big music guy, obviously, and it's a long story. But the Bears, Vegas is onto something. Obviously, Shawn, I heard a little bit with you and Ken. Where there's smoke, there's fire. We talked about it on our show with Cap. The Bears have to be in it because they're so desperate. They're so desperate to find talent at the quarterback position. Something since 1940 has been a miss. You had Jim McMahon, who arguably, he won the Super Bowl. He had the number 1 ranked offense. A lot of people forget that. But he was so injury prone and beat up based on whether it be the play calling or his style. He was reckless. He'd put his shoulder to die, and you see him flipping. And then, we had Dante Jones talking about his best quarterback when he was there was Steve Walsh. And we go through this all the time. So all of the Bears fans that tell me, listen, we can't give up this and we can't. I'm at the point where I know you have to give up in desperation to finally fix the one ingredient. It's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. That shit happened by an accident. Right? Now we have to figure out the peanut butter because we've been just eating the chocolate and you're just getting but so far. You're getting Rex Grossman. You're not getting the dynasty. You're not getting the, and granted, Mike Ditka did have the run where they're winning consistently. You're in the playoffs. Exactly. You can't argue those facts. He had that. We haven't had that though. We had the one showcase, then we're bottom feeders. You go here again, you get Khalil Mack, you win the North, you lose in the first round. What's the missing ingredient? The ingredient is the quarterback. And you as well as I know, we haven't had that. So I can find you a great pass rusher. I can find you a great running back, great corner. Those guys, you could find them. It's not a coincidence that we have been the oasis of quarterback play since Sid Luckman, and that's really where we are right now. So I think Vegas understands. Obviously, I sent you that little clip from our buddy over there. Sounds like he's about to kill somebody. But when he's going on sources and stuff, the Bears are finally making an official offer for Russell Wilson. The conspiracies are all out there, but I really know that is the reality of the truth of Russell Wilson. Obviously, I think the holdup is it Watson or Wilson that Ryan Pace and Nagy want? And that's really where they're at right now in regards to, Bears fans, plug your ears, giving up a lot to finally fix the fucking toilet that's leaking. You got to do it.
So here's the question. So who do you go after? Because if you're looking at this defense and you're like, okay, this defense is going to be gone in a minute. All right. Because, you still got Khalil Mack. No one's taking his contract. You still have Robert Quinn. No one's taking his contract. Right. You might lose Roquan Smith. Okay. You may lose Jalen Johnson, but you still got Eddie Goldman. Akeem Hicks might be a cap casualty. Like, you're looking to win now. So if you're looking to win now, then I'd say you got to go after Russell Wilson. If you're looking, if you think you can build and rebuild this defense, okay, within a couple of years, then you go to Deshaun Watson. Okay, because I think Russell Wilson has a more
Great
immediate impact now. And I don't think because he's 32 years old, we're not going to ask him to win a Super Bowl at 36, 37. Tom Brady was great and did it at 40. What is he, 49, 57, something like that, whatever. But I don't know if Russell Wilson can do that. And I don't want to have to find out down that road. I want to find out when he's still potent. He's still valuable. He's still extremely productive. So depending on what Ryan Pace, his plan is, depends. It tells me which quarterback he's going to go after. I personally would like Russell Wilson. I just like, and nothing against Deshaun Watson. Nothing. I know that Russell Wilson's been there and done that. And there's so much to having that in the huddle, because when you don't have a guy that you can count on, and everybody looks at you when you're the quarterback. If you don't have that guy who's been there and done that, it's a little more difficult. You might say, I believe him all the time, but in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, he still hasn't done it. This guy's done it. And if it wasn't for a bad call by Pete Carroll, he would have done it twice. So
exactly.
Like
I said last week with you, Shawn, I'm on the Russell Wilson. I said it to Cap too. These guys are basing on age. For me, Russell Wilson, based on the tape, this guy does things at the quarterback position that we have never seen in Chicago. And that right now, that if I was the head coach, I'm fighting for that guy because of who your division rival is.
Mm-hmm.
You want to freaking offset the board. He knocks out Rodgers because he is a similar player, because he can take in a moment's time, change the whole dynamic of a game based on, like Randy Johnson, fastball pitching. That's what he throws, right? This guy could do it all. So he is the dynamic player that you need, just like they have up north in Green Bay. You got that here. And now you even up the board. Now your defense, which is a better defense. Again, to your point, what are we giving up? Nobody knows. It could be 3 first-round picks. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
okay with that, because you know what? Ryan Pace has shown me he can't pick in the first round anyway.
Exactly.
And I can trade back in the second round and find talent throughout the draft. There's more UDFAs. I get it. Than there are first-round picks, because there's a lot more in the course of time. The nerds will stay. I get it. But the reality of the situation is football talent is about all over. It doesn't matter what school. Doesn't matter. So you got to be confident in your ability to draft in order to, build your franchise. And we've seen it over. I mean, look at your franchise right now. Look at your roster. Akeem Hicks wasn't a first-round pick. He wasn't. He transferred from LSU and went up to Canada. I forget the name of the Saint something. I forget the name of the school.
Yeah.
And Regina. He went to Regina.
Sure, it's not Regina.
It's Regina. And the reality is, that's a first-round caliber talent. You look at across the board. You look at it. Eddie Jackson was picked in the 4th round. You're finding talented football players everywhere. Just those are examples just to give you perspective. You have to understand the one thing you haven't found. And when you got up there, you missed on Watson. You missed on Mahomes. Generational talents. You took Trubisky. There's no going back. There's no Michael J. Fox. There's none of that. We can't go. So we got to get it right now. And a known commodity, to your point, is Russell Wilson. And I'm with you. I'm not worried about the age. I get it. There's zero. That was my guy, Deshaun Watson. If we come away with Watson, am I mad? No. You've just upgraded the most important position in all of sports. And that's going to help your football team get over the negativity. That's because that's an issue too. So you
know what? You're right, because Deshaun Watson might not be that dude where he's like, you know what, that shit don't work. I'm not running that. Maybe he is. Well, Russell Wilson's that dude.
Yes, he is.
He's like, listen, he was like, what did you? What's so funny? When I played, I won 3 national championships in semi-pro, and I went with 2 different teams. In '99, geez, how crazy was that? 1999, we won it with a quarterback named Paul Ohm. My guy, he's awesome. And there were times like the head coach was also the play caller, and he would send a play in, and you could hear it because we don't get 10,000 people at semi-pro games. So there were a couple of times where the receiver brought the play in, and he goes, "Get the fuck out of here! We're not running that." He goes, "Listen," "We're running this, this, and this, and this, and this." And we ran it, and you see the head coach like get really mad, and we score a touchdown. We have a big gain, a first down or something, and then there points in time where the receiver coming with the plays. He's like, "Just stay out. I'm calling my plays," and he did, because again, he had a phenomenal understanding of the offense. He knew what they had on defense. He knew what we had on offense, and he knew how to exploit it. I can tell, and who's hurt, who's not on their A game today on defense, so I can exploit that. It's easier for me because I'm seeing it every play. Absolutely. And that's the kind of guy Russell Wilson would be. Like, no. Listen, here's what I saw. So you're telling me a Super Bowl winning quarterback that I didn't see that?
Exactly.
It's an Arena League quarterback and can't call a playoff game? You gonna tell me that?
You saw it with Nick Foles, Shawn, last year.
Remember they got into it.
Nick Foles was on it, and Jay yelling at Martz. You heard it right on that. Fuck Martz.
Yeah.
You said it right on national television. Go Bears. And as you had Jim Harbaugh, they were telling us the story of him checking out of Ditka's, but Ditka flipping out. Jim just didn't do the right thing with his check. But the reality is, your point is a true one and valid one. One point, though, about Watson, I just think you would hope that the true Matt Nagy, please stand up. He's always asking about.
Please stand up.
Please, he's always asking the why. But the reality is, it's got to be the no. You got to know what you have in Deshaun Watson if that's your guy, and you call the game based on that quarterback. Now, here's a guy that didn't know the why when it came to our boy, and you and I broke him down with my father, David Montgomery. He doesn't know the why David Montgomery is your freaking identity, and he can't figure that out. So there's so many nervous things when it comes to this franchise. Is it about football? If they go all in on Watson and Wilson, then we know it's about football. If they go with some other cockamamie plan that's going to keep fans happy because they kept Roquan's, whoever's in the trade, and they kept their picks, and they went the safe route, and they signed Ryan Fitzpatrick, and they're going to draft the guy, that's the loser. That's the same shit we've lived for a lifetime. I gave Pace hella credit for going all out and trying to get Khalil Mack and succeeding and getting him, because I felt like that was a necessity. And you saw the impact. You see it every Sunday. If you're not a PFF fan, you pay attention to Mack and you see the reality of what he brings to the table. Let me just tell you, truthfully, that's a huge impact. And you saw it go to and win the North with Mitch at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Matt Nagy and Ryan Pace are going to choose their path. We saw a little bit of that with Nick Foles, but this is it. This is a draft pick. This is a huge trade. And hopefully it is Russell Wilson. And that sets the tone of what it is you're going to do. And then you could sit back and really identify who the why is of the coach. Because there'll be no more excuses, Shawn.
You know what's funny is that your boy Matt Nagy's still going to be able to take the credit. He's still going to, and I don't know if Russell Wilson's been the kind of guy to be like, because he'll say, it was a collaborative effort. And he'll take
collaboration.
Yeah, we collaborated. We had a collabo today out there for 3 hours, and
Got a great week of
we're
practice. Collaborated before the game.
and we're not going to know. And it's so funny is because I don't know if Russell Wilson's that dude to say, you know what, I changed that call, and it wasn't Nagy's call. He's not. He doesn't seem like that type of dude.
He always says "Go Hawks" after every. He's the consummate professional. We've never seen anything like this in regards to the player. But remember Devin Hester, Shawn?
Mm-hmm.
He came out and fucking just buried Cutler. It's like we've said.
Yeah, he did.
God created a quarterback. He created Jay Cutler, the talent. Cutler, the leader. Granted, Cutler is great. Cutler is great on television, reality TV. He's a star. But when he came into the huddle, he was cliquey. He had his boys, and that shit don't work, Shawn.
See, the only thing that I say that with Devin, is Devin. You couldn't catch a cold if you went skinny dipping in the winter. Okay, you couldn't catch shit. That's why, that's why he played DB in college, in high school and college.
He made a couple big plays.
He did.
Seattle, remember that game?
Yes,
against Russ.
Yeah,
against Russ.
But at some point, like there were some times, like you put it this way.
Yeah,
Jay wasn't looking for him. on third and 8. He definitely wasn't looking for him.
No,
you know what I mean? I don't care how fast you are. It's because you had, and that you always had to take that into consideration. And then, some people, like Kyle Long loved him. Greg Olson, for the 30 seconds he was on the Bears with Jay. Thanks, Mike Martz. He loved him.
Thanks,
a lot of other guys loved him too. So again, you got to consider the source. And and Devin, and let's be truthful, man. I've worked Devin Hester's camps. I love Devin Hester, but let's just say it might have taken him a little longer to understand the playbook.
Right, I get it. His football acumen wasn't, but even more so than Devin. I remember standing in Cleveland. My father said it. Jay Cutler he's not a leader of men. He's about himself, and you saw that shit. And really, we were 5 feet away from him. I go, "Hey, Jay, what's up?" And he doesn't even look at you. He's that kind of person. Little kids are holding their autographs, for a chance. This is a fucking preseason game. You go over there, sign 3-4 kids' autographs, man. You're the freaking quarterback of the Chicago Bears. In regards to the comparison, the only reason why I bring it up is Jay, talent, and Russell Wilson's talent. You can debate back and forth. Russ ain't 6'3", but Russ throws the most catchable deep ball right now in the NFL. Maybe Aaron Rodgers and him are neck and neck. It's pretty. He's anticipatory. Passing is top shelf. He's a generational talent at quarterback. But the thing that really puts him over the top is his Drew Brees-like love for his team and leadership of that. And that, in my opinion, as a football coach, is priceless. If you get a quarterback that understands, has the attention of his team. I mean, look at Tom Brady. Even Bruce Arians came out and said, "I don't have to say shit. If Tom says it, the whole place shuts up." And that's what Russell Wilson is going to bring to the table. So if I'm the Bears and you're a Bears fan, you've starved. We all have. On game days, Mitch or Nick Foles or put out whoever that's missing a deep ball wide open in the NFL, 4 yards open is absolutely wide open. Misses that opportunity. You don't get but 2 of those opportunities a game. You're missing 4 or 5 every 2 weeks. I'm watching on the tape. You can't miss those throws. We have. So they changed the whole tide of the game for somebody like Coach Nagy. That could be in his corner as an argument. Hey, I called the play. He missed it. It was wide open. I think of Darnell Mooney on Sunday Night Football running wide open. He misses it. He doesn't have it. Anthony Miller, again. Yeah, there's some. He's made the throw. I'm just telling you, there's more misses than there were. Russ ain't gonna miss, Sean.
No, he won't.
Russ
He
ain't gonna
won't.
miss that.
And the thing we have is we have a dude who can go out and get it. And you know what? And that's when they do their best work. You look at Brett Favre, you look at Aaron Rodgers, you look at guys who
Yeah, exactly.
who are from that ilk where they can sit around, and not that Brett Favre or Aaron Rodgers were speedsters, but they were able to step up in the pocket,
Yes.
buy time with their legs. And once you buy time with your legs,
Yes.
man, now you have a scramble drill. You know what I'm talking about. And you have
Hell
the
yeah.
fastest guy. You go deep. You know where you're ever at. You go across the field. You do this. You come back. You go here. Running back. You leak out when on a run on a scramble drill. Once you see the quarterback is lost, they've lost contain. The quarterback's out of the pocket. Now we have that dude. Now, granted, DJ Metcalf 6'3", so it helps a little. But Darnell Mooney, we have that dude. You also have a Tariq Cohen who can do the same thing.
Tariq gonna be back off
So
injury.
I'm looking for them to also draft a speedy wide receiver, especially if they get this Russell Wilson deal done.
Yeah.
Give me a speedy wide receiver in the 4th or 5th round. Someone, because DK Metcalf wasn't a stud, dude. He just was big and he was super duper fast. So you know what? Go get a big super duper fast receiver.
All goes.
Yeah.
Go.
And on the scrambles, your job is here. Your job is a post. Your job is between the sideline and the numbers. Okay, your job is the middle of the field, and you come back through, and he's gonna make stuff happen. And when you and that's it. That's what we have with those guys. The weapons and his ability to buy time. That's gonna be huge for us.
And God, please let Riley Ridley be a part of this possession. The guy can make plays. He's got great football acumen and bloodlines. He works. I don't know why the personal conflict is continuing when you got obviously Javon Wims and Anthony Miller out there embarrassing the culture. Get Ridley out there. And the thing that really separates A-Rob franchise tag, you think he's going to be happy with freaking Russell Wilson out? Oh my God. Because here's the thing, Shawn, my last point. Russell Wilson, he attacks and threatens the whole field. Whereas Nick Foles, insert any core, Mitch Trubisky, half fields, can't throw that dime ball. You're on the freaking hash on the opposite side, throwing a dime ball backside on the money. That is catchable because you looked off the safety and you threaten levels and the whole field. You become one of the most difficult people to defend is because of what you're talking about. Not running out of the pocket, not running for a first down, but adding time, manipulating the pocket, escaping out the back door, and knowing everyone's assignment and them being coached up that the play doesn't end until the whistle's blown. Because with Russell back there, everybody's open. And that's really, if I'm the Chicago Bears, I'm doing everything in my power to get it done. Whether this guy is right about them officially making their first offer or not. Clearly, the Chicago Bears need to do everything in their power. If it's 3 first-round picks, any scenario that has been given me, you know how much I love David Montgomery and Khalil Mack. If you'd have to trade them too, it's going to hurt. But you got to fix this quarterback position and get somebody in here that's as dynamic as those 2 football players. You go do it. You just do. That's it.
Yeah, guys, we're joined by Phil Latoshan. He is the draft doctor himself from the Tape Never Lies Network, talking a little Bears football right here on Shawn and Maya on Sports Zone Chicago. So what would you consider too much? Is there anything you would consider too much to get a Russell Wilson? I don't think. Before I was like, okay, 3 first rounders, that might be too much. But then, then I sat back and thought about it, and you mentioned it earlier. Ryan Pace doesn't have a good track record. So you know what? Give him the first round picks where you don't do well anyway. Okay. Exactly. And then you can go around, you can accumulate a lot more 2nd or 3rd or 4th or 5th round picks where that's your freaking wheelhouse, dude. Exactly. That's your wheelhouse. So you can go get a middle linebacker, you can go get a rush guy, you can go get specific people in those rounds, who go to a little smaller school, or maybe they were hurt their senior year, a la Eddie Jackson, and but they had first or second round grades the year prior, but then they were just hurt and they fell. Those are the things that Ryan Pace does well. And you know what? Here's where he has to, and maybe that's what he's doing. Maybe if he wants and if he does that, he can go both routes though, Phil. Think about it. He can go Deshaun Watson, because these young guys are going to be, their contracts are going to be really, really cheap and team friendly and plan for the long term. Or he can go and get Russell Wilson and have those guys do the same thing. And even though the window it's a more immediate return on investment. So it all depends on what route he's going to go. And when he does,
this is a football team that has traded for Rick Meyer, a first-round pick. First-round picks, they are awesome. I love the draft. It's like Christmas for me. Thus, my nickname, Draft Dr. Phil. I love it. But the reality is they're a gamble.
Yep.
They're a gamble at a crapshoot, no matter how you cut it historically. You could see it. A lot of talk about it. These blog boys, they love to talk about first round. Oh, they wasted first round. Yeah. Just sit back, look into perspective. Do you want a 50-50 shot for the next 3 years of getting a franchise signal caller, or do you want a known commodity? That's how you got to do business. Yep. And the reality is you've done the other way. You took your shot.
Bingo.
You lost. You have Karimi. I can go down the whole freaking list. Chris Williams. First round. You want that?
Stan Thomas.
Stan Thomas. Go down. Kevin White. Leonard Floyd. Go down the list. For every Roquan Smith, there's 5 misses.
Mm-hmm. Rashawn
Salam. Mike Haynes. Remember him from Penn State?
Penn State. Yeah.
Senior Bowl MVP. Guy loves snakes. Tackle. He loves snakes more than he loved football. That's the problem. You got to get the goddamn quarterback. Trade 3 first-round picks. Solidify yourself at the position that solidifies you each and every Sunday where it matters most.
And if you look at it, Phil, remember what the Cowboys did in the Herschel Walker trade. It wasn't a whole bunch of there were some first rounders in it, but they got a whole bunch of second, third, or fourth guys, fourth round picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then people will go back. Yeah, they'll go back and say, hey, look what they got in the second, third round. Listen, the Vikings got screwed over. That's a running back. Herschel Walker. This is a quarterback. It doesn't even compare. It doesn't, honestly.
But the Bears can go in and get and find these other picks, and that's what you know what. And here's the great thing, Ryan Pace. If you're listening, here's what you can do. You go in go all in, and then you stock. If you can stockpile and you can get other pieces, like even give away, special teams guy or a backup linebacker or something. Not give, but trade away for a 4th round pick, for a 5th round pick. Get draft picks. Okay, because you have to fill out the back of your roster. You have to fill out the back of your roster with some talent, with some special teams guys. Okay, and you're going to hit on one of those because you've hit on one of those guys every single year you've been drafting. Exactly. So I don't expect that to change. You finding a gem, a diamond in the rough in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th, or 6th, or 10th, or 27th round, you found a freaking gem. So this is what you're good at. So go get more of those picks. And the law of averages say, well, you know what? The more picks I have, the more diamonds in the rough I can find. And that can be the way you rebuild your team. Because these guys, let's keep it real. If you're a 6th round pick, a 7th round pick, and UFDA, you're like, whoa, UDFA, sorry. You're busting your balls, dude. You're firing. There's an edge. There's something. There's want to make a team. And these are the guys you want. Okay, you're going to get a shot, maybe in a practice squad, but then we're going to bring you up. Look at James Alex Bars, and Mustafa. Those are undrafted. Those are undrafted free agents. And what happened? They came in. They busted their ass. They fought, and now they're part of that the big 3 in the front. This is what he needs to do because he just can't get 1st round picks right.
Solidify the quarterback position. My final point. I got to head back into my office here. Solidify the quarterback position. Give away the 1st round. Give up a player. You might have to give a really great football. You might have to bite hard on your lip and take that. But the reality is Russell or Deshaun are going to make everybody else better. So you're betting on the position because that is the most important position. And then if you keep that second round pick, you understand what Shawn is just saying, that you believe in your scouting. You believe in your team and your collaboration. And you trade back and you collect some other middle round picks from the second round to recoup some of these positions that you need, or we're just going to roll the dice in the first round, whether that be a quarterback that is a necessity. Say you trade for Russell Wilson, Shawn, you still need to draft a quarterback and do what you say is so important. You should be drafting one every year. Well, do it because you haven't done it.
Mm-hmm.
Do that stuff. Prepare this roster to be moving forward. And obviously, I got to go, but you got to fix the left tackle position, Shawn. That'll be next week's debate. Me.
Yeah. Hey, you got a couple pretty good ones that the Kansas City Chiefs just let go yesterday.
Yeah.
You got Eric Fisher. Hey, even if it's for 1 or 2 years, and then you can go find someone else. But yeah, that's nuts. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot, buddy. And I love talking football with you. Do me a favor though, let everyone know where they can find you online.
Right here at Phil_Atoshian, OTTOCHIAN. It's Armenian, like the Kardashians. That's where I tell you. On Instagram, you could follow us at the Tape Never Lies Network on Facebook, YouTube. Go over, subscribe, and also become a patron, where Shawn Sierra was with me on X's with the O's, breaking down the roster as well as the draft, all these extra pop-up and more. If you're into X's and O's, like tape and video and coaching breakdown, that's that stuff that you want to get deeper into the team and the draft and fantasy football, that kind of stuff. That's where you become a patron. So I appreciate always coming on the show with you and my boy Ivan. I got nothing but love for you guys. I always shout you out on our show every Wednesday night, keeping it 100 on the Tape Never Lies Network. Always fun with you, Shawn. I love you, man. Thanks for having me on. It's always a pleasure. Always.
Hey, likewise, brother. Likewise. We'll talk next week. We'll probably talk before that, but we'll have you on next week.
I'll talk to you over the weekend.
All right, dude.
All right, guys.
Later. All right, guys. That was the draft doctor himself, Phil Atoshian, talking little Bears football with us, and right here and every Friday at 11 o'clock Central Time. And man, great stuff with my boy. And it's awesome to have him on. I appreciate it. We're cut from the same cloth. Let me tell you, we really are. If you're not a member, I suggest check out his Patreon account, and you see the breakdown that I did with him on the running backs, the Bears running backs. Man, I'll tell you what, this was dope. It was dope. We got into it. Me, him, and Coach Atoshian, his dad, were on that particular that podcast, that episode. And it's something that I do, something I've done for a long time. I break down film, and I've done it. I've coached for 15 years. I played for 30 years, believe it or not. It's just, and the things that we see, that other people don't see, is just because of the amount of time you've been in this game. And it's not rocket science. Most of the time it's not rocket science. And the Bears, for whatever reason, insist on making it rocket science. So I don't know what they're going to do. I'm hoping and praying that they get this deal done. I'm waiting for it to come across my phone. Right? Yeah. Sierra, it's a Bulls jersey. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to pop up. Boom! Breaking news: Bears trade for Russell Wilson. Then that's gonna be my first day. I'm like, okay, deep breath. What did they give up? That's gonna be my very first thought. What did they give up? Because I have to be, and I'm prepared mentally for Roquan Smith, for a Jalen Johnson, for an Akeem Hicks, for David Montgomery. I'm mentally prepared for that. So you can do that to me, and I'll be like, ouch. Whew, that hurt. Give me a second. we got a franchise quarterback. We got a guy who can make plays outside the pocket. We have a guy who's won a Super Bowl. We have a guy who's in his window in the next 4 years of winning another Super Bowl with us. We got a guy who's one of the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. You know, so hopefully the Bears are listening. I would love that. Bears fans would be phenomenal. Well, listen, we got to take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to finish up with sports conversation. Oh man, you know what? It's been a heck of a week. But don't go anywhere, folks. Just keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya on Sports Zone Chicago.